Welcome back to Curtis Granderson Stadium here in Chicago, Illinois. Twins and Reds, and we are underway. First pitch misses down and away. That's how we get started. Hi, everybody. Kevin Belater here with Austin Kroom. Time to wrap up day one. Stretch time, buddy.
Oh, I'm enjoying it, but yes, stretch time, and we got the rest of the weekend for some more games.
Whaley tips that one into the mitt as they're going up against left-handed pitcher Nick Heffron, wearing number 30, class of 2023. Quickly 1-2. And there's Twins and Reds. Twins coming in 0-1. They lost 16-0 to the Cleveland Guardians RBI squad to kickstart this day here at Curtis Granderson. 1-2. Swinging at him, strike three. Good backdoor breaking piece. That's out number one. Reds 2-1 victors in come from behind fashion over the Royals RBI. Austin, what do you believe is one key for each side and get that win for Minnesota, get in the win column, and for Cincinnati get to 2-0 for an important day with Cleveland?
So what I would recommend, at least Twins-wise, they need to go out and play like there is no tomorrow, because there potentially could be no tomorrow depending on how this game goes. If they start off 0-2, their chances at making that championship game on Sunday are minute. They're slim to none. So they have to go out and play with everything they got. And the Reds, they need to score early and have their pitching just cruise and dominate the remainder of this one. Their hitting is great. Their defense is great from the first game. We saw clearly with their 2-1 victory over the Royals. They're a good all-around team, which explains why they had won the tournament last year. So what they need to do is go out there and play their best ball on both sides.
1-1. Heffron with a grunt, and he misses upstairs. And yeah, it's really important now because you also have to factor in, which you don't normally have to factor this in normal baseball from regular years, but in tournament fashion, you have to factor in the big key, which is run differential. Right now, Minnesota enters with a -16 in that category.
Yeah, and it's not good to look at paper-wise, but yes, there is only one game so far. But like I had said earlier in one of the broadcasts, I think it may have been last game, if you're only playing 5 games and you play one, that's 20% of the quote-unquote season done. So you need to do everything you can to be on your best game 5 games out of 5. And the Twins need to come out here after that loss this morning and just be like, okay, we're tired. We don't want to lose anymore. Let's give it everything we got and see what we can do.
And do you think that the longer break, not having to play back-to-back, having the front and back-end games in this tournament on their first day, day 2 overall, do you think that helps them?
I think that helps them 100%. I mean, we saw what happened with the Guardians RBIs this morning. I mean, clearly the team, their energy is different, their offense is different. They're just an all-around great club. But they had that 3-hour break or so, and they came back still a little bit, maybe in a food coma-esque, maybe still a little the afternoon naps going out. But as soon as they got into a roll, they had scored, 8 straight runs over 2 innings. The Twins, they hopefully benefit, practice a little, got some food in, rested, and now they're coming out and ready to go.
New batter now is Dalma. He came in relief in that first game. He's starting at shortstop today. Peter Dalma, the 2006 child. So that one is a check down back. It's safe there. There's Kelly who reached on the walk. Dalma only 1 at bat in that first contest, and he grounded back to the pitcher. So trying to change his luck here in this tournament.
Not the greatest sample size, but
yeah,
it was one. He pitched pretty well coming out into a relief situation. I mean, down 16. You can only stop the bleeding as well as you possibly can, but.
Exactly. You can only hope for that point, and
exactly.
That game ended after 5 innings as well.
We knew the rule for that one at least.
3-0 in for a strike. It's 3-1. Yeah, that was confusing.
Yeah, to say the least. Went down and talked to a couple of the teams in between games, and like, hey, do you know what's going on? And I was,
Runner goes in the 3-1. Doesn't matter because it's ball 4 to Dalma. So first and second here with only 1 away, and this is something we didn't see the Twins do a whole lot in that first game, which was get guys on base.
I mean, No, I mean, especially after that first inning where they had given up 6 before there was even an out. You know, it's a bit difficult to just come back after even being down a crooked number and not having anything. It gets to your morale a little bit, but starting here, they have runners on with 1 away. They need to score now and start the rally train.
This is the pitcher Tyson Wynn now batting, and he takes a breaking ball in for a strike. So we saw Figueroa bat in the 2 spot when he started. We're now seeing Wynn bat in the 4 spot when he's pitching.
Maybe he's got some secret pop in there that we don't know about. Got him batting cleanup.
I like it a lot.
I like
0-1.
the idea of it.
He fouls it off himself, and he makes it 0-2.
It's only a matter of time before we see what he's got, at least on the offensive or defensive side. But for Heffron so far, he's got a very wide release. It's almost like a Jake Diekman-esque release. His arm slots up and very out. It's normally a bit confusing to opposing batters, especially in a lefty-lefty situation.
He's got the lefty-righty matchup here. Here's the 0-2. That one skips in to make it 1-2. Got the slide step going as well. So really kind of matching up that comp there.
Yeah, I mean, the first game, clearly for the Reds, we saw the sitter battery of Connor and Brennan.
And it worked.
And it was phenomenal. I mean, if your brother, just say, wanted to play baseball and you would practice with him your entire life, you're going to have a chemistry that one of your friends or random teammate won't have, because, they live together, they breathe baseball together. They're going to have way more of a connection.
2-2. Chop to third. Bradley will go to second, out there for the first. Not in time. So now there's 2 away. Fielder's choice there for a win. For those scoring at home, scored 5-4, and there's 2 away, and that'll bring up the catcher,
Next up
Matt
to the
Kimlinger.
catcher, number 30, Matt Kimlinger.
Kimlinger caught that first game for the Twins. Got 1 at bat. He struck out swinging. Granted, with the exception of the first 4 hitters, batters 5 through 9 in that Twins lineup only got 1 plate appearance in that contest this morning. That's how quick that game was.
Yeah, it eventually had hit a point where you want to call off the dogs.
Now they have Wynn picked off. Instead, it's dropped by Smith. Now the runner breaks for the plate, and it's dropped by Sanchez. And this will bring in the first run of the game for Minnesota. Wynn tries to take third. He's out there. But the Twins grab the early 1-0 lead and get their first run of the tournament. Through half the inning, it's 1-0. Twins RBI leading. Back in a moment on the Windy City Sports Network. We're back in Twins RBI, lead it by a score of 1-0. Kevin Malater, Austin Kroom with you. As Barnes, Mendy, Gashan, Smith, Sitter, Walters, Bradley, Sanchez, and Daniel is the lineup that Reds RBI will be trotting out against right-hander Tyson Wynn. We saw him bat. And he misses with a breaking ball. On the offensive side, Wynn reached on a fielder's choice, stole second base, which allowed a run to come in to score, tried to advance on an error made by Smith, the Reds' first baseman, and was thrown out at third base. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Good change up there, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird play, but, you know, good on the Twins RBI to be able to get their first run of this tournament, luckily. You know, get over that little hump and keep going.
The windup, the righty fires, and it's another changeup, and it's 1-2.
Good start so far for Wynn, but Barnes last game went 1 for 3 with that RBI triple, which allowed them to take the lead and eventually win that later in the game. So he's got the wheels and he's got pop. So you got to watch out for him.
1-2. Grounded right towards that Reds dugout. A bunch of guys flinching down there. None of them, thankfully, were hurt, so it's 1-2. One-two again. Try to back him up with a backdoor breaking ball. Couldn't get the corner. For Wynn here, what's in really key for your success? Because your teammates in the first game, they struggled because, oh, hold off, here's the 2-2. In the air, left side, long run for David Hazard. He's on the track. He's unable to make the grab, so it's a foul ball. What is success? How do you define success at a point where your fellow pitchers struggled in that first game, giving up a 16-burger?
How do you bounce back is what you mean?
Yeah, exactly. How do you bounce back? How do you bounce back, and what do you define as success in this game, considering what happened in that first game? Granted, several errors were made as well. How do you bounce back, though, and how do you see success in this game? Here's the 2-2. Popped up. This will be playable for the pitcher, Wynn, who calls off the dogs, and that's going to be a foul ball. Wynn touched it in foul territory before it rolled back into fair territory. He's lucky there, and it's 2-2 again.
What I would at least recommend, Wynn, if he's able to, you know, get through the bumpy first few batters, because, you know, when you go new pitching into a contest, you may not have your control yet, your energy, your accuracy, any of that. If he can get that down within the first few innings, I think that'll be good for him.
On a line to center, Kushna makes the grab, and that's out number 1.
Yeah, finding control is definitely the biggest thing, because once you find your control and you can start hitting corners, the paint in the black, and if the umpire's giving you the call, that helps as well. So if you're able to do both of those, and offense is still working, they're improving, or in this case having the lead, even with it being as one run as it is, your confidence goes up. You trust yourself more. The battery of the pitcher and catcher, they start to work better. The chemistry keeps going. So I think it'll just take a little bit of time for control and confidence.
Joe Mendy cuts and misses at the first offering he sees from Wynn. He's in left field today. Or I should say tonight in this game. The 0-1. Popped up foul, and it's 0-2.
1 for 3 in the last game, 2 ground outs to the pitcher, but he did have a single stolen base, and then eventually came around to score after a wild pitch and then a sac fly.
He's behind 0-2. Right-hander kicks and deals. Ground to the right side, past the dive of Whaley to right in field. So it'll be a 1-out single for Joe Mendy.
Yeah, the last game that the Reds had played was a pitcher's duel, to say the least. I think only about 8 combined hits, maybe 9 between both clubs, the Royals and the Reds. I'm not too sure on that one. I can fact check it in a second, but getting some of these early on hits and getting runners on is exactly what you need to keep the offense going.
12 hits in that game combined, Sue. Close there. Strike is called on the pitch. Throw down a second as Mendy was on the run. Is a little late, so it's a stolen bag.
Another thing that Cincinnati had started to do later on in the contest was steal more and more bags as their offense was starting to wake up in that 3rd and 4th innings. They had stolen, I think, 4 bags within the second half of this contest. So maybe see them get on that early now, try to get the lead down.
Parker Gashan, the new batter, he takes that one inside, so the count evens out for the moment. 1-1 count, 1 out, runner on second base, and it's a 1-0 Twins RBI lead over Cincinnati Reds RBI. 4th and final game here at Curtis Granderson Stadium on this Friday in July, and look out there as Gashan gets hit in the helmet. Wynn says, my bad, so clearly showing there was no intent there.
Good show of sportsmanship there. I mean, you get pitches like that are never intentional. You never headhunt. And hit by pitches so far in this tournament have been normal to a sort. Probably about 7 of them or so combined throughout 3 or 4 games or so. So no intent there, just a show of mercy and sorrowness there from Wynn to Gashan, and he apologized, and you never want that to happen, but it's never intentional.
So here's Gavin Smith with 2 on and 1 out. Look out there. He had to duck out of the way of that ball. It was coming for his midsection.
Yeah, I think the single to Mendy and then the hit by pitch for Gashan maybe on Wynn's mind a little bit. May not be a bad idea to step off and kind of rethink for a second.
Grounded to third. Jeffrey will just go the long way and get the out there. So 2 down now, both runners. That's Mendy and Gashan advance 90 feet.
Good bounce back pitch there. Get another guy out. It could kind of gives you a few seconds to relax and cool down. It's still super early on for Wynn in this contest and the Twins, so I say give him time. Allow him to get more comfortable up there on the bump. I think he should coast.
So you're down now for Brennan Sitter. He caught the last game, DHing this one, and takes that one downstairs. That one upstairs, and that one got him. And also got a good chunk of our home plate umpire as well. So the bases are now full once again. Yes. The new batter will be Robert Walters. Coaching staff discussing with the home plate umpire. That ball deflected off of him.
Batting next, number
Kimlinger
2,
goes out to talk to
the
Wynn for the
second
moment,
baseman, Robert
giving some
Walters.
distraction here.
Coach Winfield going out there and telling his guys, hey, just one more out. He put his hands up and screamed, hey, just one more, just one more. Don't worry about the guys on base. He's been doing this for a long time. You do the best you can when need be, and Winfield's just trying to set the tone here to do what he can and be a good coach when need be.
Wynn kicks and fires. And that one skips away from the catcher Kimlinger, but not far enough. That's a strike called 1-1.
Calling that pitch on the black again, Wynn may start to realize that that's going to be the best place to start dotting pitches.
This is lifted into left. Backing up is Dylan David Hazard, but he's underneath it and makes the grab. And that'll end the inning. Reds leave them loaded. And for wanting to play, it's Twins RBI leading it by a score of 1-0. This is the 2022 MLB RBI Central Regional Tournament on the Windy City Sports Network. Top 2, Gavin and Austin back with you. Game number 4. And Kimlinger once again steps back into the box. He was up during that crazy pickoff play. I saw a run come in for Minnesota, and then a second runner get picked off at third base on the same play. So he will lead things off here in the top of the second. And he hits a little jam piece straight back in, just out of the stadium.
Now for the Twins.
Yeah, it seemed that actually confused him a bit. He was holding back most of that swing, and then just last second he kind of uncorked a little swat at the ball, but it might have been called a ball if he didn't have it.
That one misses high, so it's 1-1. Kick and the pitch. Straight back, and it's 1-2.
We're bound to get a ball up here at one point. Like
We keep talking about, but I'm wondering if one of the things is we talk about it so much that it won't happen because we talk about it so much.
do you know what will happen? I'll be at softball
Tomorrow,
and you'll get one.
and I'll get
Yeah.
one tomorrow.
If you do, please just.
I'm taking a photo and sending it to you
Speak
immediately.
it into existence, at least.
Kicks away from Sanchez. No one doesn't really matter because no one's on, so it's 2-2 now.
But if it happens, you got to be like, first off, announce it on the broadcast. First off, you have
That's
to-
the one time where I wish we had a booth cam so,
So
we
you
could get
can
a
see that
replay
you
that,
can-
I caught the ball. Because otherwise, it's just you guys got to believe me. I mean,
Maybe next year.
You'll see the baseball flying at the camera.
That is true.
2-2. Breaking ball in there for a called third strike. Second strikeout for Heffron. That's the first out of the frame.
That was a good breaking piece there from Heffron. Just got Kimlinger frozen on that one. Probably wasn't expecting it. Probably sitting heater, so when he saw it come in slower, he knee buckled. Good pitch.
Thomas Bradford, the new batter.
Next up, the right
He's playing
fielder,
right field
number
today.
32, Thomas Bradford.
Infield plays in as the pitch is taken inside.
Maybe next year we'll have a booth cam.
Maybe next year.
Gotta see what it's looking like, work-wise.
There,
I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
That net just needed to be a little shorter. That was tailing towards the second part of our booth. So we kind of sort of converted a suite into a broadcast booth for these purposes.
This would be the time to have a booth cam. If you could see what the setup we're working on is. This is why broadcasters are number one in innovation.
1-2. And yeah, it's an impressive setup here. When you see Sports Network, only the best.
Only the best for us.
Only the best for our viewers.
Of course.
1-2. That one misses down with a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Mighty grunt there from Heffron, kind of giving it all he's got on that one, just a bit low.
Figueroa-ish.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
No grunt. Check swing. They'll complete the K. They haven't officially appealed, and he did not go, so they're going to send Bradford all the way back to the box.
A bit
Next
confused
up,
why
the
it
center
took
fielder,
that
number
long.
27, Ezra Kushna.
So they're calling him back in the box. I mean, smart by Bradford. He was running because he was waiting for a call.
Yeah,
He didn't get a call either.
I get that, but it's also
Number 32, Bradford.
if the team's confused, it's the home plate umpire to point down to the first base umpire at this time. It's all right. A little bit of confusion going on.
3-2. Backdoor curveball taken for strike 3. So either way, Heffron gets the K.
Just turn the K around.
Exactly. And it's 2 looking strikeouts to start the second inning for the lefty.
Number 27,
Good bounce
Ezra
back after only
Kushna.
giving up 1, so hasn't had too much damage done, keeping it exactly where he needs, but his control is looking way better in this one, especially with that off-speed pitch.
Ezra Kushna now steps up. That one hits him in the leg, and they're going to award him first base.
He wanted to stay in and keep hitting. I respect that.
He wanted to stay in the home plate umpire said, nope, you got to go down.
I understand the ball player in there. Once you get that at bat, you come on, let me stay in, please. But not a bad thing. Now you have another runner on, keeps the inning going.
Well, especially considering he only got 1 at bat in that first game. He was kind of like, I only got
He
1
wants-
that
he
first
wants his
game.
licks. I get it.
Exactly. I get the reason behind it too. Yeah.
Oh no, it's 100%. Even being a PO,
Dylan David Hazar is now up, but it'll be waiting until the next inning as Heffron picks up Kushna, who got caught leaning. And that'll end the frame.
As we head to the bottom of the second
So the hit by pitch doesn't come back to bite the tall lefty through an inning and a half. It's still 1-0. Minnesota Twins RBI lead. Welcome back, Captain Malater, Austin Kroom with you. So we enter the home half of the second. As Seth Bradley will lead things off. He squares and fans on that bunt attempt, and it's strike one.
As the day has gone on, it seems that more and more bunt attempts that have been actually tried have actually succeeded. So maybe we spoke that into existence. I won't say we did anything here. Maybe everyone's just waking up a bit more.
Okay, Tony Romo.
I'm
1-1.
I'm not saying that the Bengals are going to the Super Bowl before the kick has happened. All right, give me a break on that one. The Bengals are going to the Super Bowl. Evan McPherson hasn't kicked the 40-yarder yet. Relax.
40-yarder in Kansas City in sub 20-degree weather with wind. Not a guarantee. And he was doing it from the hash mark as well.
Oh, I know.
Hard, and that one is foul. Barely.
Great cut there by Bradley, but that could have gone either way, honestly.
That was close. Probably the right decision to rule that a foul ball.
Yeah, he probably would have gotten 3 on that just based on how everyone reacted right off the rip.
Instead, it's a 1-2 count on the third baseman for Cincinnati. The 1-2 pitch from Wynn. Chopped left side and foul.
Bit more obvious on the foul side on that one.
Just a tad.
Tad bit.
Great observation there.
Hey, I didn't go to journalism school for nothing.
Keyword is you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You did. But you did. You went in past tense.
Still passed.
That's true.
With flying colors.
1 and 2. That one went behind the batter Bradley.
Actually almost hit his bat on that one. I mean, I get not moving, but if he didn't move that bat down, it got the end. That's a foul ball.
I've seen one all time in terms of covering the game of baseball, like calling games.
Where it hit the bat.
Where it hit the bat.
And went fair?
It hit the bat, popped straight up, the catcher caught it, and it was an out.
Wow. Normally it doesn't even stay in play.
Here comes the 2-2. Line in a short left center. It's going to fall for a base knock. in front of Kushna, who cuts it off before it could get to the gap. So it's a leadoff single there for Seth Bradley.
Good piece of hitting
Next
there
up, the catcher,
to go from
26,
deuces all around to
Luis Sanchez.
being able to keep this inning alive for his team.
So that brings up Luis Sanchez. He's catching today in the number 8 hole for the Reds. Runner on first again. Reds, by the way, have had 3 base runners thus far. 4 now, including that hit by Bradley, and nothing to show for it on the board thus far. And stepping off will be Wynn.
Sanchez was the DH in the first game today against the Royals, went 0 for 2, so he's definitely looking to get a hit and join the rest of his team.
Runner goes. First pitch is in for a strike. The throw down from second from Kimlinger is not in time. Bradley with a steal of second. Second stolen base of the game for Cincinnati.
It's almost similar timing as when they started taking all the base paths last time, so might see them if they can get some bloop hits, maybe some super hard contact. You might see guys moving.
That one is skipped away after Sanchez showed bunt, and it'll be a free 90 there for Bradley. So, things are interesting here. Runner on third, no one out, and that runner also represents the tying run at the moment. Count evens out, corners play slightly in. This one's popped up and over us.
I'm waiting.
Yeah, if you can't see, but Austin is now pretty much standing at this point.
I'm like
Half sit, half sit.
standing.
He's literally sitting on the edge of his seat. And I don't mean figuratively, I mean he's literally sitting on the edge of his seat.
I don't like to sit around for that long. I can't.
I'll tell you, walking around the ballpark in between games has been the best. Just to stretch out the legs. And speaking of getting outs, that's what Wynn was able to do right there. He picked up that strikeout of Sanchez. That's his first strikeout of the ball game, and that'll bring up Daniel with one away.
Yeah, I
Next up,
would
the
have
right
to agree
fielder,
with you there.
number 3,
Stretching the legs
Daniel.
is probably the best part. Going down onto the field itself is just, when you haven't played the game in a while, being on the field just has a different kind of feeling.
Also, just getting to interact with these players, just how excited they are to be here. Especially for that first game today between Minnesota and Cleveland. We had that one, and both sides, just all the players, smiles on their faces, even though it was 10 in the morning. And mind you, these are high school kids, so a lot of them don't like waking up early.
I can agree with that.
And they were smiling, just looking around the ballpark. The sightlines here, as you can see, are incredible, and they are all just kind of stunned by how beautiful this ballpark is. And they were really excited to get things going here. And the same could be said for Cincinnati and Kansas City when those two teams showed up. 2-0 pitch misses away. 3 balls, no strikes now to Daniels. And I think it's really shown because the players want to win because they want to get back here on Sunday.
Oh, I mean, getting to the championship game is cool enough alone, but when you have a view like this, I had said, I think yesterday during the game, that there aren't many views that rival this professionally, except for maybe St. Louis, maybe PNC Park in Pittsburgh, but like collegiate, maybe BYU.
Yeah, the mountains they have there. But other than that, you're right. No, this is a special view. Runner goes for second, pitches in the dirt. It's an easy stolen base for Daniels. Harrison Barnes now back up, representing the top of the order. Twins clinging to a 1-run lead right now here in the bottom of the second. Barnes flew out to center his only trip and takes a strike. One ball, one strike. Wynn sets, steals. That one misses away. 2-1.
Wynn was in a similar situation last inning and was able to get out of it. I think the best thing to realize is, hey, yes, you are one less out than you had last inning, but just do the best you can. Focus on the guy in front of you.
3-1 now. And he's threat of walking Barnes, which, even though you wouldn't like it, he does have that free base available at first. But Barnes doesn't want it now, in terms of just, at least getting it via the walk, I should say, so he now swings and fouls it off to make it 3-2.
Yeah, I think Wynn would much rather get Barnes out than give up the free pass. I mean, that's kind of
that's a given.
That's a given, but because Mendy has already gotten on and stolen, he's got contact and speed, and you don't want that with bases juiced.
This is driven in the air to right field. This should bring in the run. Bradford Camps makes the grab. Tagging from third is Bradley. Throw is cut off, and it's a 1-1 game. Sacrifice fly for Harrison Barnes and the Reds. Reset us here at 1.
Yeah, if there was any way that you would have to get a productive out, that would be the way to do it. And he hit it even to the best part of the field for that. If he hit it to left field, it may have been harder for the runner on third to get in, but hitting it to right field makes the right fielder have to throw harder and further. So good on Barnes for that RBI sac fly.
1 apiece now, and that'll bring up Joe Mendy again, and he grounds this one to the left side. Jeffrey charges, throws across the diamond, got him. What a great stretch by Kelly at first. He went in the splits to make that play and save a run as well. We're through 2. Reds get one back on the sac fly from Barnes. And we're all knotted up at 1. This is the 2022 Major League Baseball RBI Central Regional Tournament on the Windy City Sports Network. We're in the top of the third. 1 apiece now after the Reds tied it, as Dylan David Hazard will come back up to the plate. He was up when the pickoff attempt happened at first, then recorded the out of Kushna. First pitch to him. Here's a breaking piece that hits the dirt.
Do you think it might be more of a positive for David Hazard now? Technically, his second time seeing Heffron up here.
Well, he didn't see a pitch in that at bat, if you recall. So
that is true. So it's technically like he's going in blind again.
1 ball, 1 strike. Heffron out of the windup delivers. Oh, that's a good breaking ball, and it's 1-2.
Great off speed. I mean, that's all I can really say about that. He got him fooled.
12-6 break, it looks like, from our angle up here in the booth. We'll now work quickly here for 1-2 count. And Dylan David Hazard fouls it off. So it's 8-9 in top here for Minnesota in their half of the third inning. Twins just trying to get a win here, and also probably they're going to have to win by a sizable amount, considering their run differential is at a -16 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to put up a crooked number soon.
That one misses down, count evens out.
And my guess is it may not come against a team like the Reds because of how dominant their pitching has been so far. And I mean, their defense has been pretty on the money.
2-2. David Hazar sends it down the line, but it drops foul. Reds so far in this tournament, granted just really about 9 innings played at this point, and have made just one error defensively. And it came actually in this game. Two pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Outside Cheddar sees David Hazar go down swinging. 4th strikeout for Heffron.
Grunts all around. He grunted and he got that one moving. If that's what it takes to do it, you're going to hear him do it a lot throughout this game.
Tennis-like there.
It's like, Serena Williams-like.
Even Roger Federer, too.
It's just like all tennis players. And that was an interesting call. It was close.
That was a ball called on Heffron there, and the new batter.
Jeffrey.
Noah Jeffrey up. He sends it to the left side. On the charge goes Gashan. 2 down.
Next
2 up, 2 down.
The second baseman, number 21.
As Whaley
Mark
rejoins the
Whaley.
plate. Struck out swinging to kickstart the game. That was about 4 pitches, so relatively quick K for him. Heffron works out of the windup. Goes from the center of the rubber. Kicks and deals. Grounded to third, right at Bradley. Throws off line, but the tag is applied by Smith, and that'll end the inning. 2.5 done. Still 1-1. Back in a moment here on the Windy City Sports Network.
As we head to the bottom.
Parker Gashon leads things off and takes a strike. Heart of the order, 3-4-5 for Cincinnati here in the third inning. Hit by a pitch and strand on second, his only plate appearance of the game. Win back to work, the 0-1. In the air to left, David Hazard twists and turns, can't find it as it drops over his head. It could be 3 if he wants it. Instead, Gashon will be content with 2. It's a leadoff double for the shortstop from Cincinnati.
It's a good piece of hitting there by Gashon, especially after getting hit in the last at bat. You want to go up there and show them like, hey,
Next up, the
I'm
first
still
baseman,
going to do
number
exactly what I
7,
came to do, and that's hit.
Gavin
And that's
Smith.
exactly what you saw here. And now Cincinnati has a runner in scoring position after 1 pitch.
Gavin Smith, the new batter. Ground out victim his only trip. That was in the first inning. Got a runner in scoring position though. First pitch. Downstairs for a ball. And we also
Good on Whaley being alive back there, because if that ball just kept going, you could have seen Gashon go all the way to third and potentially round.
Wayne works out of the stretch here with the runner on second. First base side of the rubber deals. Upstairs, 2-0.
His batting stance reminds me a lot of a right-handed Larry Walker. They got that. They have similar. No, it's the way they sit. They have very
Yeah.
similar.
No, I see it. You are just coming up with these left and right, and they all work.
Dude, I love this game. I tell you, I live for it.
I do too, and every time you say it, I see it right away. I see Larry Walker right now because you pointed him out.
Exactly. I mean, may have played for the Rockies and Expos, but besides the point.
May the Expos rest in peace.
We can talk about expansion teams a different time. We don't have the time for that because we got a game to.
Put them in Vancouver, Manfred, please. I've been a real advocate for Vancouver getting a baseball team.
I'm still fine with Nashville.
2-1. Whoa, look out there. That almost hit him again.
Yeah, you don't. It's clear that Wynn is not having the intent of trying to throw at anybody. He's just not able to get the ball out at the correct angle, and it just flies off. It's just gotta take a second to just relax. Like right now, when he's got a second to just kind of breathe, just sit there and think.
3 balls, 1 strike. Just the runner on second and Gashon. Wynn comes to the belts. Swing and a miss, and he works the count full.
Yeah, Smith was in a hitter's count on that one, but just looking to do some damage with that swing, just a bit low from where he was looking. I'd expect a challenge pitch here from Wynn.
Comes set and comes home with his payoff pitch. It's grounded foul.
Fastball is it's one of the better pitches to go to on that, especially if he's sitting middle away, he's just going to swing right under it. But I don't know. I don't think going off speed in this is a smart idea unless you have 100% confidence that you can get it to spin properly. My guess is he's going to go heater again and see where it lands.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Once again, the pitch is fouled straight back. Smith just trying to stay alive. He's made a couple of good plays on the defensive side of the ball over the course of the 2 games he's been a participant in. Let's see if he can do anything with the stick, and he will use his head and takes ball 4. So first and second now. Nobody away here for Brennan Sitter.
Good stop there, though, by Kimlinger. If that had gotten past him, that would have been an easy
Next up,
advancement
the
by Gashon.
designated hitter, number 6, Brennan Sider.
Brendan Sitter up now, DHing today. Was hit by a pitch in his first at bat.
Yeah, exactly. And
You never want to see that.
oh, you don't want to see it. And you were chatting him up a little bit pregame. How was he feeling after that performance he had behind the plate, catching his brother, and now coming back for game 2? What's he feeling like right now?
He was definitely happy they had a break because he knows that tomorrow they have it back-to-back, just like the Royals had played today. But I mean, it was more actually talking about life. He's from Covington, Kentucky, so he's only about 40 minutes away from actually where I live. But we talked about ping pong.
Really?
And how they brought a ping pong table to their hotel because their dad is really good at ping pong.
I love that. That gives me major Little League World Series vibe right there, because the ping pong table they call it the Grove, I'm pretty sure. This one is bunted foul to the right side.
Yes, they do call it the Grove. Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to make sure here, because I know they also call something else the Grove. There's another famous venue in sports. Oh, that's right. Ole Miss is the Grove as well.
So, Mr. Sitter, if you are listening at the moment, your sons are trying to beat you in ping pong in Chicago at the moment. Well, not at the moment.
They're training.
They're doing their best.
Exactly. They are spending their off time training so that they can eventually take you on in a game and probably try to beat you. That's just my guess. 0-1. Pulls that bump back for a ball. Also got to ask you, how good of a ping pong player are you?
Out of 10, -4.
Good, I can crush you then.
We'll find out later. Pool might be a different story.
Yeah, pool's a different story. I'm confident in my abilities to beat you in that as well. The 1-1.
Okay.
He shows Bunny, pulls it back, but that ball squeezes by the catcher Kimlinger, and up to second and third go Smith and Gashan respectively. So one swing can give Cincinnati the lead. Still with nobody out here in this third inning. To right and foul.
Good idea what he's trying to do there. If you see there's a very slight shift on Cider right now. I mean, they're playing almost straight up, just a bit to the right. Each player stepped a few. So if he can poke it down that right field line, he could potentially go 3 if he's really chugging hard.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Still nobody out. The pitch to Sitter. Misses down, and Brennan's done a nice job fighting against Wynn, and he's now worked the count full. Open base at first, by the way, as well.
Seems to be a common theme here with this Cincinnati Reds team. They're able to go down, foul a couple off, and then fight back to full.
3-2. Once again, it's fouled off. And we are out of baseballs once again. A lot of foul balls here, and you got to credit Sitter for that because he's fought off a lot of tough pitches that Wynn believes when he throws them will get an out.
Yeah, well, with how the umpires have been calling, at least, they love the corners. So if you see something remotely close, which is why the balls keep fouling off to the right, he's just getting underneath the ball on the outside and he's clipping it off. So he's at least throwing the bat out there to make sure he doesn't get caught looking. But if he's lucky enough and gets it early enough, it could just poke over the first base line and potentially score 2.
So we'll go full again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Deshaun on third, Smith on second. Wynn trying to just get an out somewhere. Doesn't have one recorded yet this frame. And they'll have to wait for another batter as Sitter fights back from down 1-2 and works a walk. And the bases are full of Cincinnati Reds RBI players.
Next up, the second baseman, number 2, Robert Walters.
So still nobody out. As Robert Walters enters flat to left. His only trip. Win out of the windup. Throws a 49-footer. And a nice job there by Kimlinger to block it and prevent any runs from coming in across.
might seem like a crazy idea, but if you see how far back the infield's playing,
You think you're going to drop one
he
here?
may want to drop one down the third base line. Third baseman seems asleep right now.
Instead, he'll send this one out to right field for Bradford. He makes the grab. Tagging from third is Gashan. The throw is up the line, and Cincinnati will grab a 2-1 lead. So once again, when the time comes, the Reds players are doing their job and putting the ball in play. Second sacrifice fly for Cincinnati, and they grab a lead here in the third inning.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can ask for is, in a situation like that, if you drop a squeeze, there's a potential that you get a double play if it's a force at any base. So also realizing that once he does make contact into the outfield, you get the best jump you can knowing he's going to cut four.
So runners to the corners now here for Seth Bradley. Singled and scored his only trip. And only one away. He shows bunt, runners go, and now Kimlinger will chase back Smith to third base. To second goes Sitter on the play. So he'll steal second base. So now there's 2 on, both in scoring position, still only 1 out. Golden opportunity for the Reds to tack on a few more here. One 0. Swing and a miss.
Bradley did come around to score in his last at bat in the second after a single stolen base and an advancement on a wild pitch. So we may want to see a potential bigger jump here if something's moving.
Big breaking ball there for strike 3 called. Second strikeout of the contest for Wynn, and Bradley will head back to the dugout.
Next up,
And
number
Luis
26,
Sanchez
catcher, Luis
comes back up to the plate after
Sanchez.
striking out his only trip. That was in the second inning. He's still got 2 on here and 2 out now. He swings away and grounds that one into left field for a base knock. 1 run in to score, and Smith. Sitter will throw the brakes on at third. RBI single for Luis Sanchez. It's 3-1 Cincinnati.
All you can ask for in a guy like Sanchez in this, especially, like I said, after he went 0 for 2 in his first game at DH, he's now playing the field, and he wants to help on both sides of the ball. So getting a key
Next
RBI
up, right
and
fielder
hitting
number
that
3,
situation is
Keelan
perfect.
Daniels.
Keelan
First
Daniels
runner
now
at
up.
First base is Mel Green Jr., number 15.
MJ Green now, the courtesy runner. He goes on the first pitch. Kimlinger came up strong and acted like he was throwing it, but really just threw it back to Win. So stolen base there for Green. And how big is that, though, that in a tournament like this, you get the bottom of your order contributing? Because it's really easy in these type of tournaments, 4 or 5 game tournaments. That one gets the corner for a strike, 1-1. It's really easy to get your top guys going because that's what they always seem to do in certain scenarios. They always seem to come through. It's always the bottom of the order that always gives you the most question marks on the offensive side of things. But when you have your offense, the bottom half of your offense going, it's got to feel pretty good, right?
I mean, if you're able to get everybody going and just steamrolling at that point, it's the best feeling you can have. Clearly, the guys at the bottom are there not necessarily for their offense, maybe because of their defensive primaries. But if you can get them going and turn it over while having guys on and being productive, it's the only thing you can really ask for.
That's a strike to make it 2-2. Wooden sets. Deuces wild. The count goes full here.
Expect a bigger lead from MJ Green and Sitter there.
Still is that base open, so probably not running the pitch, correct? Or would you?
I would not, especially with nobody on first and the top of the lineup up.
That's ball 4. And Daniels has walked for the second time.
All right, Harrison, let's go. Have some fun.
So back up to the top of the order. Harrison Barnes, sac
Fielder,
fly.
Number 17,
2
Harrison
flyouts today.
Barnes.
Sac flies last time. And a fly out to center in the first. He's got him full here with 2 away. Wynn will go back to the windup here. And the corner infielders will back up. Strike called on that changeup there from Tyson Wynn.
Yeah, I would probably say, arguably the most dangerous guy to have at the plate at this moment. When Harrison has made contact so far today, it's gone far.
Another hard hit ground ball. This is right into the wickets at thirst for Kelly. He drops the ball as sliding in safely was Barnes. 2 runs will score. All the way to third goes Daniels. It's 5-1. Reds RBI lead it.
Next up, the left fielder, number 1, Joe Mindy.
So now Joe Mindy becomes the 9th Reds batter to come up to the plate this inning. It's a 5-1. Reds RBI lead it. And Mendy smashes this one, but it's going to land out towards the batting cages down the right field line.
Yeah, I mean, I had said Barnes hits it hard. He hit that one on a rope over to the first baseman, Kelly, and he had luckily gotten to it, but it was just a foot race at that point, and Barnes was just clearly the faster one in that one, but good on the runners to realize the ball had gone loose.
They'll take a glance over at first base where Barnes is at, but he's in safely. Corners now with 2 away, and the corners play even with the runner's depth. 0-1, Barnes takes off for second, pitches in the dirt, doesn't matter as Kimlinger was not even thinking about throwing that ball down to second base.
No, I wouldn't in a situation like this. If it overthrows, you have the run in from third, and 6 stolen base now for the Reds in this one so far.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1, 2 out. And the strike is taken by Mendy.
Interesting call on that one. Looks like it may have tailed off at the end, but if Wynn has been painting it all game, you give it to him. That's kind of the rule of thumb.
Comes set. The right-hander fires. And the right-handed batter, Mendy, spoils it. Lights starting to turn on here as we enter the 7 o'clock hour on this Friday night in Chicago. Glad you could be with us here on the Windy City Sports Network. Number 2, Gavin Blader and Austin Groom with you. 1-2 from Wynn, and it's cut on and miss. Kimlinger held on to it, and that'll end the inning. Reds get 4 on just 3 hits, no errors, and they strand 2 through 3 here at Curtis Granderson Stadium. 5-1, Reds RBI lead it. Welcome back as we hit the top of the fourth. Rides RBI put up a 4-spot in their half of the third. And Heffron fires a strike to get us going here.
Leading off the inning, the
To
first
Kelly.
baseman, number 24, Liam Kelly.
The windup, the lefty deals. This is sent down the right field line. It's going to drift into foul territory and out of play.
Technically no at-bats in this one, even though he has walked in this and gone around to score. It's just, they don't count walks as at-bats.
You are correct. He's not the best color man in the league for nothing, folks.
I do my best. I try to make my mom proud.
Don't we all?
Yes, we do.
1-2 now to Kelly. He's got the lone Minnesota run thus far. Here comes the 1-2. Inside. Kevin Malater, Austin Kroom with you as always. Gorgeous night here from Chicago.
Hour number 12.
Hour number 12 for us here at the ballpark, and let me tell you, the weather has been perfect as this ball sent on the ground, backhanded by Bradley. Long throw, high throw, but coming back on the bag is Smith to get a big first out there.
Great throw over there by Bradley, but also a great tag over there by Smith at first. I know we had, just said hour number 12, and it is a long day, especially.
It's been a fun day, though.
It's been a long day, but I wouldn't trade this in for the world.
No, this has been an absolute blast here on WCSN 2. Absolute blast, and it has been fun. And if you've been with us since the 10 a.m. game between the Twins and the Guardians, thank you. Just straight up, thank you.
You mean more to us than you know.
Yes, you really do. If you were up at 10 a.m. and now you're still sitting here at 7:10 Central Time, if you're on the East Coast, which several teams are in the East Coast time zone, 8:10 Eastern Time, shout out to you because you are amazing. And
or any of the parents of the players in this, if you happen to have found this and this is the only way you are able to watch your son and or daughter play, we appreciate you for coming on, and we're doing the best we can to give you all the live updates.
1-1 from Heffron, called strike 2. And also, it really helps when we're out here for 12 hours and the weather's beautiful. It's not cold like Minnesota.
No. It's...
I had to drop the line in there.
Oh, I get it. No, I know what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, the weather's beautiful. The view is, oh my goodness.
It's immaculate. I mean, you can see it. You can see it on the camera for yourselves.
But the camera doesn't do it justice.
It really doesn't.
Sitting here for 12 hours looking at this all day, it does not get tiring.
I'll tell you, half my camera roll has just been photos of this angle from our booth because that's just how incredible it is.
I have not been taking pictures.
Well, there's a reason behind that, and we won't get into that right now.
Why would it be professional to check my phone on the job?
Of course. I only did it in between games, obviously.
Respectfully.
1-2 in the dirt.
Kevin's a higher class of human than I am, clearly.
Well, no, I just took the photos in between the games. I'm like you, though. I don't check my phone during the games, though.
Why would I?
On the ground to Walters at second. Wild throw, but coming back off the bag was Smith. Or originally was signaled out, but they'll change the call last second, so it'll be a E4, excuse me, that'll see Dalma reach base.
And just after Smith had made a great play, it seems like another awkward throw had him just off the bag quick. But it seems the umpires want to come together and talk about this one after one of the Reds coaches had walked up and had asked to potentially have a get-together for this one.
Yeah, so our first review of the 18 baseball tournament here at Curtis Granderson Stadium. The call is confirmed. He is safe.
15U Twins in the stands now cheering their guys on. Happy to see that he was called safe. How cool does that have to be, though?
To be here for those players?
Yeah, for either team.
I mean, we were talking about it earlier on the broadcast tonight. It's awesome. And they were when they showed up today, they were all smiles on their face, even when the Twins first showed up at 8:30 this morning for their game against the Guardians.
Especially yesterday when every team was here, it was really livid, and Curtis Granderson threw out the first pitch and had talked to all the teams.
Talked to us up here in the booth, which was incredible. Curtis, thank you
Thank you
again.
so much for that. That was arguably one of the coolest moments of the job. But, I mean, you come to a beautiful city like this, you get to play for and represent a team that is known on such a big stage. It's quite impressive.
And I think all these players are really enjoying the fact that they get to represent their quote-unquote hometown clubs in a tournament like this, where on Sunday we will send a baseball team and a softball team to the RBI World Series in Dodgertown, Florida, as Wynn swings and misses to make it a 0-2 count.
Yeah, I mean, having the option, I'm not saying the option, but the privilege to be able to go to
Next up, the
Dodgertown
catcher,
and
number
face the
30,
best of the
Matt
best.
Kimlinger.
It's just got to be an honor to even have the opportunity.
For sure. No balls, 2 strikes, and it'll wait as Heffron checks on the runner. He's safe. So far, I will say, we have not seen a whole lot of pitching changes today in this game, maybe just a couple, as now Reds RBI 15U team has shown up as well. The baseball squad for the 15U division is here, and they're showing their support. The 0-2 from Heffron, backdoor curveball for a called 3rd strike.
Reds guys are liking that one.
5th strikeout for Heffron, and there's 2 away here in the 4th. Back at first is Dalma. 2 away now for Kimlinger. Struck out looking his last trip to the plate. He's just trying to keep this inning alive. And sends a weak ground ball to 3rd. Charging is Bradley. To 1st he froze, and he gets Kimlinger by a couple of steps. And that retires the side. So Heffron's able to work out around the 1-out error made by Walters at 2nd. And for 3.5, RBI Reds still lead it by a score of 5-1. You are watching the 2022 Major League Baseball RBI Central Regional Tournament on the Windy City Sports Network. Ezra Kushna now steps up to the mound.
And former pitcher Tyson Wynn is now in center field for the Twins.
It's just a defensive swap between Wynn and Kushna, and his first pitch misses inside as we start the bottom of the fourth. Leadoff batter this inning will be Jashawn Nod again.
Up now
2
the
balls,
Reds,
no strikes.
Number 11, shortstop Parker Geshin.
Sharp ground ball, left side, foul.
Double last at bat for Gashawn. Was able to come all the way around, and one of the 4 runs that was scored in that inning. Doing everything he can to start up another rally here, and especially with the 15U Reds here cheering on their older brother counterpart.
At the strike, 2-2 now. And now Twins RBI's 15U baseball squad is getting into it as well. And it hit him.
Bat flipped that back to Cincinnati.
Next up, first baseman, number 7, Gavin Smith.
So Gavin Smith steps up, runner on first. And Smith fouls it off.
Smith walked last time and eventually did come around to score, just like his previous counterpart, Gashawn. Common theme with this, 3-4-5 section here in the Reds lineup.
I've got Wynn's final line here. I'll give it to you in a moment after this 0-1 offering comes into Smith, but it'll halt after this big off attempt. 3 innings of work for the right-hander Wynn. 5 runs, all of them earned, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, and 2 hit by pitches. As of now, he'd get the loss of this game. We're to go final look out there. Smith almost getting drilled in the head. Also mentioned Smith walked and scored his last time up. 4 runs on 3 hits last inning for Reds RBI, but they also did have 3 walks in the frame. 2-1 now. Which typically when you see a few lopsided games like we had last night, this morning even, walks normally play a major factor. That really hadn't been the case for Minnesota Twins RBI, as this ball sent deep to the opposite field, tailing away from Bradford, and he runs out of room.
I think the hit by pitch aspect of offense has had more of a play than the actual walks. Because it seems like the bases get juiced and they'll get to a full count, and contact will be made, and it'll either be an out or a hit, obviously. But there have been how many games so far, and there's been like 11 or 12 batters plunked. I think it just may be the jitters and just a lack of control on some off-speed pitches, because the majority of them have not been heaters or fastballs. It's been a slider or a curveball that hasn't been tamed yet, and it just kind of tails off.
So 2-2 now. Fighting off a couple of tough pitches has been Gavin Smith. Pitch. In the air to center. Long run for Wynn. He turns and it's over his head. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Being sent around from first is Gashawn. And throwing on the brakes at third with an RBI triple will be Smith. Now the ball trickles away from Kimlinger. Smith is now caught up between home and first. And the tag will be applied by Kimlinger there. A wacky play. It'll be an RBI triple before the putout being recorded at home. Maybe you should have sent him in the first place there, Austin.
May not have been a bad idea. The third base coach had looked, he thought about it. He actually originally had given him the go-around and then threw his hands up, but He was going around the
Next
bag
up,
so
the
hard
designated hitter, number 6.
that Smith kind of had a hard time stopping. Good idea in the forefront, but poor execution in the end of it.
It's a triple with an RBI, and then a 1-2 put out sees him get cut down at the plate. And Brennan Sitter takes a strike. 6-1 Reds now lead here in the bottom of the fourth. The windup, Kushna fires the 1-1. Off the end of the bat, right to Kelly at first. He'll take it to the back himself, and that's the second out of the frame.
It's a good bounce back, especially after giving up that RBI triple.
Up next, the
Get a few pitches and just get him to ground it out. That's all you can really ask for.
Walters with a flyout and a sacrifice fly tonight, so 0 for 1 officially with 2 away. Kushna kicks, and one misses down and away. By the way, since that triple, Tyson Wynn has now backed up about 20 feet or so in center field. This is out of play.
Yeah, it's way easier to take your steps in than to backpedal and try to go for that. And I mean, I wouldn't say it's a bad read in center field there, but it's difficult, which is understandable on something that's hit that hard.
1-1. Back up the middle and down for a base hit. So Walters gets his first hit of the afternoon, and it comes with 2 outs in the fourth. Austin, you kind of motioned something to me right there about that one.
Next up, the
Yeah,
third
I mean,
baseman, number 25,
if he played in on that,
Seth
and
Bradley.
if you have a half-second delay, either even one second of is this going to land or not, and he was playing in, that may have either been a quick liner at him and wouldn't have time to think, or it may have gotten right past him.
Runner goes, pitches away. The throw down to second is in time to get him. Strong throw there by Matt Kimlinger to cut down the runner. Walters at second base. So that's how the fourth inning comes to a close. Reds RBI tacks on one more. We're through 4. This is the 2022 MLB RBI Central Regional Tournament on the Windy City Sports Network. Top the fifth, back underway. First pitch to Bradford is down and away.
The Twins, number 32, and playing right field, Thomas Bradford.
Bradford struck out looking his last trip to the plate. Heffron back out for another frame on the mound. This one skied to right field down the line. Long run for Daniels. He slides but is unable to make the grab. Close play there, but Unable to get there with the right fielder, but you gotta love the hustle there in a game like this.
I mean, that's all you can really expect from your outfielders and defenders in general. Is you gotta give it everything you can. I mean, like I've said countless times, when there's a minimal amount of games, you gotta give it everything.
You really do. 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-hander working from the third base side of the rubber. Has his sign and comes to home with a 1-1. Upstairs, 2-1. Here's the next offering. Grounded to the right side. Walters charging. 2 out. 1 out. Felt like Daniels caught that ball just for momentum's sake. So yeah,
No, I get it.
12 hours.
Long
in.
day. It's been a long day.
We're now 13 hours in at this point.
This isn't the Craig Counsell incident, though. So
No.
we're good.
Yeah. This is not Craig Counsell. Yes, you are correct in that regards. Very long story for those of you who were just joining us as Kushna, the new pitcher, fouls this one off.
Next up, the pitcher, number 27, Ezra Kushna.
Kushna hit by a pitch and was picked off, but that pickoff allowed a run to come in. That one misses out. Left-hander getting ready. He's been effective thus far. He's throwing a lot of strikes, which is what you want in this type of tournament where pitch count really matters. Efron, as we mentioned, class of 2023. He's tall. Like we've been saying he's tall. He's tall.
Both?
Like, he makes both-
Ohio teams have had tall lefties.
And we were down on the field and we were next to him for a little bit before this game. He makes us look really small.
He's a big guy.
1-1. Line in the left field. It drops in for a base knock. Cut off by Mendy in left, so it prevents the runner from advancing an extra 90 feet. So big out single there for Kushna with 1 away. So he's reached base safe twice now in this game.
Yeah, first one hit by pitch, but then was out 1-3 play. The throw over.
Brought the run in though at the time.
That is true. So it was successful, but an out's an out.
They got him leaning again. He's safe. Heffron's already picked off 2 runners tonight. That was about to be a 3rd one there. Had the foot of Kushna not get back in.
Number 26, Wyatt Shirley.
Wyatt Shirley will now make his first appearance of the tournament. We'll check on Kushna again.
I think the reason he got Kuzma is because his pickoff move is so nonchalant. He doesn't really look like he's moving. He just kind of throws over and extends his arm. Like, his lower body doesn't do much movement at all.
It's very Andy Pettit-like. Remember Pettit's old move where he just was very nonchalant, just kind of tossed it over and got so many runners because everyone thought, oh, he's going into his windup?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. I mean, you've been doing the comps all day, so I thought I'd throw one in there. This is back up the middle. It takes a carom off the rubber, and everyone's going to be safe. A funky little hop there with the rubber sticking off the turf, and it allows both Kushna and Shirley to reach base safely.
Of all of the close hits that we've seen, a couple at second base, even down the third base line, I would not have expected one of them to bounce off the rubber itself.
Neither would I. We've seen a lot of crazy plays thus far through the first almost 4 full games now at this point. Haven't seen that yet. As Jeffrey back up, grounded out to short his last trip to the plate. Large leadoff second for Kushna. That's a strike on the other half. Oh, 1. Right, starting to come on here with the 0-1. That one almost got away. Good play there by Sanchez to get the glove down. Seeing a lot of strong plays from the catching position today.
Yeah, I mean, both sides. I mean, every team we've seen so far, even the Royals catcher, even after he had potentially hurt himself, he was able to get back up and finish that, block a couple key things that allowed runners to not move on or potential runs scored. But I think it's just all-around defensive play for the Reds is what's helped them stay in this.
Fouled off.
I mean, you look at their third baseman, Bradley and Smith, the hot corners, the connection they have is crazy. There have been some insane stretches over at first on some insane backhands by Bradley. Even Gashan as well.
And even on the other side of things, Minnesota's had a couple of really nice defensive plays as well in the infield.
Mm-hmm. Which is why you said the Reds, through 14 or 13 innings or so, they've only had one error, and it was in the first inning of this one.
Grounded to Gashan at second base, and he bobbles that one, and it's going to be an E6. He was looking to go to second with that play, unable to do so. It's now the third error the Reds have made today, and it couldn't come at a more crucial time. Bases now are full.
Yeah, Heffron has been in a situation
Now
like this just a few
batting
innings
for second
ago.
baseman,
So I don't think his
21,
confidence or
Mark
his
Whaley.
composure has been shocked at this point. He's gotten into this. They turned some great double plays. He knows the defense is behind him is perfect. Just pitch as best as he can and play the ball he knows.
Now Mark Whaley, who represents the top of this Twins lineup, is back up. He's 0 for 2 on the day. And then this morning, he came in off the bench and flew out to center. So 0 for 3 so far in the tournament. Heffron takes a good long look at Shirley at second, and Whaley takes that one down inside for ball 1. 5-run game, so boop and a blast here, and just like that, we have a contest again.
Yeah, I wouldn't even focus on that. I'd just focus on getting the next man up and keep passing the bat around.
We've seen the power on display though today as well, so wouldn't put it past anyone as that ball's cranked but fouled down the right field line.
I mean, we saw it last night from White Sox ace. We saw it today from the Guardians. If there's something over the heart of the plate, we could see a gap easily be shot to.
Snyder joining the home run parade in this tournament now as he was from Cleveland on the Guardians RBI squad. 1-1 to right field. In foul territory goes Daniels. He makes the grab, waist high. Tagging from third is Kushna. He's going to be toast. That's a double play on a pop out in foul territory. And the defense once again comes through for Cincinnati. We'll go bottom 5 after this break. This is the 2022 Major League Baseball RBI Central Regional Tournament on WCSN 2. Bottom 5, Reds RBI brings up the bottom of their order. It's Bradley, Sanchez, and Daniels due up. Daniels made the fine defensive play. 1 ball, no strike, 6-1 game. It's a pinch hitter for Bradley. It'll be MJ Green in off the bench. Bradley came up and got pulled last second. Here's the 1-1. Popped up, left side, in foul ground goes Jeffrey. He makes the grab at the third base coach's box for out number 1.
Last batter, number 15, Mel Green Jr. into the game.
So now that brings up Luis Sanchez, who had that RBI single back in the third. Sanchez, Daniels due up now, so those guys scheduled to bat and will bat as this is another ball poked in a deep right center field. That one gets down, and that one's going to roll all the way to the warning track. Sanchez has speed. He's on his way for 3, and he dives in safely.
Doesn't need MJ Green and his courtesy runner for that one. If you can smoke a ball that far and make it all the way around, no need for a courtesy runner.
And so that brings up Daniels once again. Keelan Daniels has a pair of walks. He was really annoyed after that second one because I think he just wants to swing the bat for once. It's going to have to be a different courtesy runner because they tried to sub Green in there as the courtesy for Sanchez, and they've just been told, nope, it's since Green got the bat, he has to be a different man. And it's going to be Seth Bradley as the courtesy. So Bradley, who got pulled down for MJ Green Jr., will now come in as the courtesy runner and fill the duties that Green was filling for Sanchez. And the first pitch is on the ground to second. This will bring in a run. It's going to be 7-1. RBI ground out there for Keelan Daniels, his first RBI of the contest. And it's 7-1 Reds.
Productive out, you can't complain there. You got him in after even putting in the courtesy runner. And with him running on contact
Next
with his
up, the
speed,
center fielder, number
a play at the
17,
plate would almost be impossible.
Harrison Barnes.
Top of the order, and Harrison Barnes now up. He tips that one back. 0-1. RBI single, 2 RBI single his last time. He's got 3 RBIs on the game. Sack fly in the second, 2 RBI single in the third to go along with a fly out in his first at bat back in the first. He's had a really solid day at the plate.
I mean, yeah, he had that leading triple against the Royals earlier that allowed them to take the 2-1 lead and eventually close it out pitching-wise. So, like I said, he's probably the most dangerous hitter on this lineup, and he's our leadoff guy.
Rocketed fair down the right field line. Barnes will take a wide turn, but will retreat back to first. So it's a hard hit single for Harrison Barnes, his second hit of the day. And that'll bring up Joe Mendy again. 1 for 3 on the contest. I'll check on the runner. He's safe by the hair of his chin.
Yeah, he was leaning a bit much out there, and I get he's got the speed. He beat somebody on an infield single just a few innings ago. But, I mean, he's taking a decently sized lead. If he keeps it up, he may get picked off.
Or Kushma may throw it away like he did right there.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
We've seen a
definitely.
couple of those today.
Especially with two away.
Yeah.
Just focus on the batter if you can. I know he's gonna do that.
He'll check again, and Barnes is just laying down now at this point. I think he's just like, come on, man. I'm not going.
As soon as you say that, he might go.
No, then Harrison Barnes, congratulations. There he goes. This is flared to the right side. No one there. Kushna will pick it up and will flip it on over to Kelly. And that will end the frame. Almost. Did I speak it into existence? Almost. That's going to do it.
Close.
We're through 5. Still 7-1. Reds RBI leading. Back in a moment.
At the end of the inning, your score. The Reds 7, the Twins.
Welcome back. It's going to be Lucas Farrar Collins to lead things off. He'll bat from the left side in a pinch hitting role here in the 6th inning. And we have the Hey song playing. And hey, thank you for joining us here for all 4 games today on WCSN 2 and on channel number 1 as the is going to be out number 1 for our Collins stumbles and appears he is going to be okay. Looks like the turf monster just got him, which happens to the best of us, Austin.
It's unfortunate. I mean,
Next up, the shortstop,
I tripped
number
going
35,
upstairs, so I get it.
Dalma.
So when you're running full force at that, if you trip, you just take it off the chin and just go for the next at bat.
Peter Dalma, and yeah, I mean, I think he was okay considering he shook Steve Winfield's hand. And by the way, Steve Winfield is the older brother of MLB legend Dave Winfield. He is coaching first base in tonight's contest.
He actually considered him, when you ask his, quote, baby brother.
He says, well, my kid brother is how he phrased it as, because he can't say little.
That's true.
As Dalma sends this one weakly to third. Long and tough play, but Bradley is able to make it on the run.
Another great play by Bradley over there in the corner. He just has a cannon and he's got a vacuum glove.
So 2 quick outs. And that'll bring up yet another pinch hitter. This will be Amir Perez. So now this is Heffron trying to close out another solid frame, and he gets a big wave and a miss there.
Into the game for the Twins, number 37.
Heffron's probably biggest jam came all the way back in the first. He did have the bases loaded in the 5th. He was able to work out of that, but in terms of damage that was actually done, the first was the most deadly, and he's quickly up 0-2 on the pinch hitter.
Yeah, I mean, since that first, he gave up that 1 run, and even when he gave it up, it didn't seem like they had got to him at all. He's just been kind of cruising, even once there's some tight situations.
No balls, 2 strikes. Nick Heffron delivers upstairs, and it came with a sound effect.
First time, haven't heard that in a few innings, but
So yeah, it's been a few innings since one of those has come out.
that's true. Still dotting up just as good as he was.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of strong pitching today. Look out there, and of course, as we're talking about strong pitching, he almost hits the man. As you know, the announcer jinx still exists, ladies and gentlemen, even where are we now? Entering the 13th hour of being at the ballpark today.
Things happen, all right? We're all human.
But the point still stands though that the announcer jinx will always exist no matter what. No matter what the circumstance is.
That is true.
Deuce is wild here in the top of the 6th. And we go full here. Full count offering. And he lost him. After going up 1-2, Amir Perez off the bench and on base in his first plate appearance of the contest.
If I were Heffron, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I mean, you already have 2 away and up by 6. Just focus on the next guy and have it so that your team doesn't have to use anybody out of the pen.
Archie.
So Jaden Archie now steps up. And the first one hits him.
First plate appearance and ironically hits him square in the back. Not exactly what you're looking for and any at-bat ever, but getting on base is getting on base.
As Bradford will now come back up for the 3rd time, 0-2 on the day. Strikeout and a ground out to his name in the scorecard.
Now batting for the Twins, number 32, Thomas Bradford.
And I know there's 2 outs, but you got to think, you get 1 run here, makes the deficit No, it'll be a 5-run deficit. Still just feels a little bit more achievable if you're Minnesota.
It is more achievable, but the way Heffron's cruising out here, he gets into situations like this and just gets out of them like nothing had happened anyway.
He gets a strike there to start.
So does it up his pitch count? Yeah. Does it maybe rattle his teammates and himself? Yeah, but it hasn't affected his confidence or his level of play yet.
0-1, and it's 0-2. New Twins RBI baseball players getting into it, supporting their teammate here with 2 strikes and 2 outs and 2 men on. Heffron fires. Just missed.
That's been called multiple times today for Heffron, and just throughout the 3 or so games that we've done. I'm actually quite shocked that they've called that a ball.
We'll go 1-2 now. Lefty out of the stretch. Flared in a short right, but it's playable for Daniels, and the inning comes to a close. Heffron once again works out of another inning where he's got multiple men on base. We're through 5.5, 7-1. Reds RBI still leading. Bottom 6, Reds RBI lead it 7-1. Kevin Belader and Austin Kroom with you here for game number 4 of the day here at Curtis Granderson Stadium, and the final game of day 1 of the 2022 MLB RBI Central Regional Tournament. The entire weekend is brought to you and hosted by Chicago Cubs Charities, as Dylan David Heiser now comes to the mound. Shirley goes out and plays left field. Bradford comes in from right to catch. Archie remains in the game in right. Perez stays in the game and will play first base. And Farrar Collins is now in center. Hopefully you got all of that through keeping score at home. As the first pitch misses upstairs for a ball.
Shortstop,
I hope I got all that.
Geshin takes that one downstairs. So he's up 2-0. Third pitcher for Minnesota today in this contest. And solid work there by Kushner for 2 frames.
What can you expect? At this point, it's only to keep the lead at a minimal deficit.
Slipping on the pitch was David Heiser's. That one reaches the concourse.
So close, Kevin.
Not really. I mean, we got close to a couple more. The
Yeah,
one a
that's
few
true.
rows in front of us was probably our best bet right there.
That is true. But a man can hope.
Of course, a man can hope. Of course. 2-1 now. A little hesitation in the delivery, and he makes it 3-1.
Gashan's already been hit twice in this.
First time was in the head. Second time he scored after he got in hit. He's reached base all 3 times though today in the nightcap. 3-1. Make it 4 as that pitch was never really close.
Couldn't ask for anything better out of your 3 guy. Get on any way possible, and he's done that so far. Even with only 1 hit. 2 hit by pitches and now a walk.
Now
Pretty productive day.
7.
Here's Smith, who lugged out an RBI triple his last time up. Tried to make it inside the Parker, but was cut down at the plate. Also, I already discussed that he probably should have gone originally instead of having the hesitation. That was in part because he had the stop sign thrown on him. And then there was a wild throw in which he then tried to score home on, and then he got caught in a rundown, and then the inning came to a close. As he swings and misses there to make it 0-1.
Luckily, the run did score on that triple.
Yeah.
So it wasn't for naught.
Yeah, Gashan was the runner, actually, who scored on that play. And he scored pretty much jogged from second to third. This one's down the left field line. This one drops in for a base hit. It goes all the way to the wall. Gashan will stop at third base. How about Gavin Smith? He's reached base safely 3 out of his 4 plate appearances, including a triple and a double.
I mean, you could tell he was clearly looking for something to drive. The first pitch he saw, he swung right under it, but it was with a lot of authority. So he finally got something in his wheelhouse and just absolutely crushed it.
Brennan Sider. Or Sider, excuse me. 2 on, nobody out. Reds RBI looking to pile it on, potentially even close things out here in the frame now that the run rules have been established. That one misses up and in. They were established pregame this time, unlike last time during the middle of the inning.
Luckily, we had figured out the rules for what the scoring differential would have to be to call the game early.
And Sitter fouls that one off, 1-1. I mean, either way, either the Reds get the run rule now with a few more runs, or we go 7, which would be the next half inning, and the Reds are 3 outs away from closing out anyway.
So one good solid hit here could close it off, or just wait.
1-1. Ground ball to Dalma at short. Takes the out there as that brings in a run. It's 8-1. Cincinnati leads it.
Next up, the second baseman, number 2, Robert Walters.
If you'd actually watched Smith play, or run, at second, he was almost standing about 5 to 6 feet behind second base. No one was holding him on, but if they had a sudden pickoff move, he'd be dead in the water.
Walters singled his last time up. 1 for 2 on the contest. He also has a sacrifice fly to his name. Got a runner on third base and only 1 out. The pitch. That one gets away from Bradford. In comes Smith. He tries to dance around the runner, but he's cut down via the tag from Bradford.
Not necessarily the smartest play. I get maybe trying to end the game now and look like a hero doing it, but I don't know. I mean, he was dead about 8 or 9 steps before got to the plate.
That was also just really unlucky because he broke the second that ball got by and took just a very favorable Minnesota bounce off the backstop.
That's actually the first favorable bounce we've seen in this game.
That might not have scored the run either way, as this is chopped back up to the pitcher, David Heiser, and he'll retire Walters. We're through 6 complete, 8-1, Reds RBI leading. Final 3 coming up here after this break on the Windy City Sports Network. Top of the 7th, Reds RBI, 3 outs away from closing this thing out. The rain has entered the conversation. And I think they're going to put this game in a delay, as the home plate umpire just made that signal here with 3 outs to go. So
It may be a.
They just said they have not said that's game because they have to throw their arms up. They just pulled the teams off the field for a moment. So we're going into a brief rain delay. We're going to step aside for a moment. Still 8-1 is your score. Top of the 7th coming up soon. Back in a moment here on the Windy City Sports Network. Hey, we're back. Quickest rain delay of the summer right there, as we're on the top of the 7th.
Walking on sunshine.
Very fitting as the sun is now peeking through the clouds. And Heffron has been cruising thus far through the front 6. Just the one earned run that actually is going to be ruled unearned because he scored on an error. So technically, if defense played cleanly, he's posting a shutout right now. So that's something of note right there.
He has nothing to be disappointed about. He's been absolutely dominant so far in this one. Will the slippery turf maybe affect some things? Not too sure. It just affects the throw down. So we'll see how the remainder of the inning goes.
We'll see that ball all the way to deep center field. As it's 8-1, no out. This is the first batter of the inning. It's Ezra Kushna. Pitched 2 innings on the mound and now will come back up to the plate. So it'll be 6, 7, 8, 9 due up for Twins RBI. Kushna, Shirley, and Jeffrey. Kick in the first pitch. That's a strike, and that's how the 7th gets underway.
Twins, number 27, Ezra Kushna.
Kushna on the day, 1 for 1 with a single and a hit by pitch, but he quickly falls behind 0-2 to Heffron. That one misses inside, 1-2.
Heffron shouldn't worry about rushing any of his pitches at this point in the game. All he needs is 3 and they walk away with their 2nd victory of the day. Just take your time. There's no one on base. He's been in higher crucial situations in this one and got out of them like it was nothing.
1-2. Misses upstairs. Defensive change to notify you about for Cincinnati. Walters goes from 2nd to 3rd. As Mel Green Jr., that one misses upstairs, full count now. Mel Green Jr., who pinch hit for Bradley, stays in the game and is now playing 2nd base. So that's the only defensive swap for Cincinnati, and it comes here in the 7th inning. 3-2. Ball 4, he lost them.
Now batting for the Twins into the game, number 22, Caleb Carter.
Caleb Carter will also make his tournament debut. First pitch to him. Takes that one inside.
Yeah, Minnesota's just emptying out their bench here, seeing if anybody can spark a rally late in this one. I know with down 7 and 3 outs away from another loss, they're just trying to find anything.
Cuts and misses there, and it's a 1-1 count. 8-1 game, runner on first, no one out. Reds just 3 outs away from starting off this tournament 2-0. And he fouls that one off, Carter does, and it's 1-2.
Even if the Twins RBI are able to win their next 2 games, the run differential may hinder their chances to make it to the championship game this Sunday.
They're at a -23 right now if this were to go final. 1-2. Got him. He chased a high fastball. That's out number 1.
Next up, number 23,
Jeffrey.
Noah Jeffrey.
Back up. 0 for 2. Ground out and reached on an error made at short. And they'll check down the runner at first. Depending on where it's to the ground ball, could end this ball game right now, but just very dependent, as we've talked about, just the field dimensions here. It's having
Difficult.
having a real effect on the defense thus far. Kick and the lefty deals. Fastball outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, I mean, if Jeffrey's able to hit this to the left side of the infield, like that hole in between short and third, both runners could be safe even if it's fielded cleanly.
Runner back in safely. That's Kushna at first. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Jeffrey trying to get a rally going, but he chases an upstairs fastball and he falls behind 0-2.
time for them to protect. At least Jeffrey in this at bat with 2 outs remaining and a potential to end it on a bad grounder. The next 2 batters are just going to have to protect everything they got.
Outside corner, fastball for strike 3. So Austin, Jeffrey didn't take your advice, and they're now 2 away. And now this looks like it's going to be it for Heffron, and it will be it for Heffron. Brennan Sitter will come onto the mound and will come and replace. What a beauty place pitch by Nick Heffron, the class of 2023 product. Walks off the mound to cheers from fans of both sides. We'll step aside for a moment while Sitter throws his warm-up tosses. As Heffron's reached his pitching maximum. Back in a moment here on the Winning City Sports Network. Two out, top 7, new man on the mound. It's right-hander Brennan Sitter. He caught his brother in the first game Cincinnati played. Now he's trying to lock it down in a non-safe situation. By the way, let's give you Nick Heffron's final line while we're at it. 6 2/3, 1 run. It was unearned. 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, and a pair of hit-by pitches. He's in line for the win here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th. Yes, that'll bring up the top of the Minnesota lineup. It's Mark Whaley. Takes a strike right there. That's how the inning gets started again.
Twins number 21, Pat Villamagna.
That is not Pat Villanova. I can tell you that right now from looking down at my roster.
Definitely is not.
It's 0-2.
That is Mark Whaley.
Yes, indeed it is. Whaley, by the way, was 0 for 2 on the day. And he's a strike away from falling victim to end the game. 0-2 from Sitter. Tried a slide change there and didn't necessarily work out. It's 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're just going up there and just throwing it. It doesn't take much thought or, I'm not even saying skill. Just, you don't have to think about it much. You just do it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Sitter delivers. He misses away with another changeup. It's 2-2 now.
How do you feel about Reds now sitting 2-0? Got to be feeling good going into a doubleheader tomorrow.
You like your odds a lot better because of the fact that you're 2-0. You're already 2 in the win column. Your run differential now sits at +8. Inside corner, just missed, and we go full. +8 is now your run differential. Sure, you have the back-to-back, which the Royals fell when they had to play the back-to-back today, but I feel like you gotta feel good with how solid your pitching's been. They got him leaning, they picked him off. That's the game. Kushna falls victim to a sneaky little move there by Sitter, and that'll end the game. Your final score, Cincinnati Reds RBI 8, Minnesota Twins RBI 1.
That's your ball game.
Reds go to 2-0, Twins fall to 0-2.
Twins 1.
That's going to wrap it up for our entire crew at the Windy City Sports Network. For Austin Kroom, I've been Kevin Malater. Join us for more action all day long tomorrow on both Windy City Sports Network and Windy City Sports Network 2. Once again, your final score, Reds RBI 8, Twins RBI 1. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning from Curtis Granderson Stadium.
Continue. Everybody please drive home safely. And again, thank you to Cubs Charities for putting on this event, which is the 2022 MLB RBI Central Regional Tournament. Again, hosted by Cubs Charities right here in Chicago. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.